Big Johnson coming at you. Says we are live, so we will give it just a second and see if y'all can see me or hear me. Let me know. Unfortunately, it hasn't kicked off yet, so we will. Yep, there it goes right there. All right, how's everyone doing this evening? Ground zero in Virginia, man. Meathead, I'm feeling for you, brother. That is a freaking mess. Governor's lost his damn mind. And I'm telling you what, it's going to get nasty there. I think people should, hold fast and do what they need to do, because this is ridiculous. Calling in the National Guard and all this other mess. And if you're a peacekeeper and things like that, and you've taken the oath to, for the Constitution, you need to check yourself before you start going and wrecking yourself. Hello, everyone. Mr. Steyer, Romans. Ray Cole, hey man, how you doing, Roy? I hadn't seen you in a long time, man. Pistol Pete, yeah, I'm got my little Santa hat on. I wear it occasionally. I can't see what the hell I'm doing here. Got my little Longhorn on there. No, can't pull for OSU, man. But they do have orange, so they got one good thing going for them. So G.I. Joe with the Kung Fu grip. Hey man, I had that back in the day. Can't see. Uh-oh. Yep. All right. And I don't know if y'all have heard, but I kind of wanted to start off. We'll get some more people on here. Hope everyone is staying warm in those cold weather areas. We're getting a little cool, but it's not anything like what I've seen in some areas with the snow and the ice and stuff like that. 17 is having a business meeting this evening. Everybody's got like Christmas parties and stuff like that. So I'm sure he's probably got some of that stuff going on. But I will hold down the fort and keep everyone entertained, because I've got some crazy stuff that's going on, or that YouTube is doing. I don't know if y'all have heard, but they put out a deal for us that do chats, or for everyone on YouTube, that if you're doing a chat, you can't show a gun in a live chat, and you can't do a live chat where you're carrying a gun. So I don't know, like transporting them. I'm sorry, they're calling it transporting a gun. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. But anyway, that's their new rules. So I guess they just make crap up as they go along. But so you can't show guns. But we'll go ahead and do a gun check so y'all will know what I carried. CZ P10C with the primary machine stubby comp and a Harry's Holsters rig, and it does fit in the P10F holster. So if you do get a P10C threaded barrel and you put the primary arms stubby comp, it will fit in a P10F holster. So, and if you want to save 10%, you can use my code. It's for Harry's Holsters. It's Big Johnson, capital B, capital J, all smashed together. I'll save you 10%. So if you want, but, all right. It was announced on YouTube like 2 days ago. It comes across the top of the screen for us. I don't know if it shows everybody, but I guess if you're posting a video, it'll actually show it across there. And it says on live streams, you can't show guns. However, in videos, you can, just not on live streams, supposedly. And you can't go live transporting a gun. So I don't know. That's just crazy. But whatever, like I said, they make them up as they go along. So who knows? Let's see here. Yeah, and I think Virginia needs to steadfast on this deal. And I don't know, I haven't heard anything announced, and he's talking about cutting off electricity and cutting off comms. I mean, this guy's lost his damn mind. He's literally going to start a civil war. That's what's going to happen. So, and it's unnecessary. So I don't know where this guy, I don't know who's signing his paycheck, probably Bloomberg, but this is crazy. These people are losing their damn mind. But I'm excited. I've got something, coming. I've been teasing it on Instagram if you follow me. And it is from these guys, Vulcan Machine Works. So this is their emblem right there. And really, really excited about getting this. But I do want to show you something else that they have here. This might be a little hint. Can y'all guess what this is? and what it fits. Y'all can see it. What does that fit? Any guesses? Hook 'em. Ronald Cash. I live 3 miles from Virginia. The people of Southern Virginia has mostly united. Yeah, I think they need to. You know, if you steadfast and you show, you know, you're not backing down. I mean, and like I said, as far as the peacekeepers and stuff like that, sheriffs, you know, I mean, they stand for a constitution. And he's talking about, you know, or what I've heard, I don't know any of this for a fact, but what I've heard is he's going to take away their, you know, their checks and, you know, all this other stuff, you know, and penalize them, you know, if they don't abide. That's crazy. Yes, it is the one guy chat this evening for right now. He may be able to join later. He's got the link, so we will see. Yep. What does the base plate fit? What does it fit? Glock floor plate with GPS embedded chip. Ooh, man, that's some CIA stuff right there. We're not backing down. Good, meathead. I hear you, man. I mean, that would be like a Texas governor coming in and trying to say this stuff. I mean, oh man, it's going to be a lot of crazy stuff going on. So, all right. Also, just so you know, next week there will be no Christmas chat because it's on Christmas. So just so y'all know, you know, be with your families, enjoy your families. That's what we intend to do. So I just wanted to announce that also. But let's see here. I had a question for everyone. G44. Let's see here. I had a question for everyone. Since it's Christmas time, and you know we all believe in Santa Claus, if Santa could bring you any gun or rifle, just one, what would it be? What would you want? If Santa Claus could bring you anything, what would you want? One gun or rifle? One pistol or rifle? We will say one firearm. How about that? I would love to hear what y'all say. Hello, Dan. Freezing in Montana. Parts by Teddy. Hello. Hello, music. So one gun, one rifle. Opinion on the revolutionary Glock 44. I think the Glock 44 is going to be a great training aid for people who have a Glock 19. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. You know, other manufacturers have 22s. This is Glock's first 22. From what I hear, they're going to make a 15-round mag also, but they come with 10-round mags. But I think it's going to be a great training tool, and I think if you want it, get it. But I don't have any hate for it. You know, I think it's going to hopefully work just fine. All right, G46. Let's see here. DWX. A lot of people are saying, oh, Guncrafter Hellcat X2. That's a nice pistol. I've played with one before. Winchester 1897 trench gun. Yeah, those are pretty awesome. SPO1's a good shooter. Beretta 92 steel one. CZ Shadow. Those are all some great choices. Steyr GB, Shadow 2 or Shadow TSO Orange, the XWZ, wants them all. My sniper rifle for Rangers. Huh. Yeah, but I think 22s, if you don't have a 22, I think everyone should have a 22. If something went awry, you know, you're going to need a small game pistol for food, whatever you need. And you don't want to shoot a squirrel with a 5.56 or a, you know, 308 or a shotgun because there's not going to be any squirrel left. So I think 22s are a lot of fun. Thank you, music. I appreciate it. Sexy Santa hat. Yep, I wear this every year at Christmas time. I've had this thing for years and years and years. Matter of fact, I do play Santa for some friends of ours. They own a company, and I do play their Santa, and I've been doing it for about 14 years, and really enjoy doing it with the kids, and you know, of course, the adults too. They get a kick out of it. So I'm a hoot. Let's see here. Can I add a shadow too? Yes, Romans, you can add a shadow too. Dennis B, you haven't missed anything yet. Ooh, older Colt worked over by Heirloom Precision with ivory grips. Yeah, they're real ivory grips. That'd be awesome. Dan Wesson 2011. Those are nice. I have played with the Dan Wesson 2011. I forget there was two models, and one even had a threaded barrel, and it was optic ready. And I played with one of those, and they're really nice. I want to say they're like $4,200, but I played with one at the store that actually carried them. Rifle Gear had them in stock. Let's see here. Thank you, music. I appreciate it. Yeah, and I even think a 22 rifle is a lot of fun. I love 22 rifles. Okay, you think that's a G43 base plate? Pretty wide. That's my finger, so it's pretty wide. CZ97 rifle, not sure. I haven't heard of a CZ97 rifle. I've got the CZ97 pistol, but I haven't heard of the rifle. But then again, I haven't heard of all of the rifles. Hello, Art. How are you? Let's see. CZ addiction. Yeah, I think I definitely have a CZ addiction. All right. As far as any other things that someone would really love to have, I haven't seen very many rifles come across, mostly pistols, but we probably have a pistol group here. So that's really cool. And also, I don't know if y'all saw, have you seen the new Sky optic ready pistol? It comes with a little optic on it, and it's the Sky. I think they have it in the CPX1. And I don't know if they offer it in the 2 with the safety model. They might. But it's an optic ready Sky pistol, and it comes with the optic, and I think it's like $330 or something like that. Does that excite any of y'all? Just curious. Hello, William Jackson. How are you, sir? Mr. Jackson. I think there's a song written after you. Do I like the 226? Yes, I have owned the 226. It was a standard police model 226. It was a fine gun. They're much better with the SRT triggers if you can get them set up with that. But nothing wrong with the 226 or the the 229, whatever you prefer. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with those. The Tavor X95, yeah, that's pretty cool. On the Tavor, there, I would want to go through and do some other stuff to it to make it a little better, with the trigger pack and stuff like that. But I think the Tavors are cool. It's just going from an AR-15 to a Tavor. It's definitely a little bit of a curve, to a learning curve to get used to that. But, yeah, stock, the triggers aren't that great. Even the X95, that was supposedly the better trigger. And I mean, it's okay. It's a lot better than the first one, but you can put a trigger pack in them and get them pretty nice. Let's see here. Yeah, and that's kind of where I was thinking about on this, Harry. I think anytime you can have a budget pistol coming out with the dot and the dot already on it, I think that's a great offering for people who are dot curious or wanting to try it. Now, it does have a pretty heavy double action trigger, and it's double action only, so it's not a single action double action. But I think if someone could train with it, get pretty proficient with it, then when you go to a regular, even single action, double action, or a striker fire pistol, it's going to be much easier. It's kind of like back in the day when we used to shoot a lot of revolvers, because that's kind of what we had. I got pretty decent at shooting revolvers, and then when I went to single action 1911, it was like night and day. I mean, it was so easy to shoot. So just it's whatever floats your boat, and whatever you can get into or you can afford at the time. But I think it's a good option for some people to try and have. Yeah, the Legion models are really nice. So Pass on the Sky, I had one when they first dropped. They're okay. And Armsman, I will second that. And I got one when they first came out. I mean, I wasn't even doing YouTube, and I just got it to play with and to test and stuff like that. And I had a catastrophic failure with mine. And I know they've done some changes and stuff like that, but I had some pins walking out, And I called them and they said, oh, you need to push them back in and put super glue on the pins and that'll fix it. And I was like, what? And the customer service was awesome. The people were really, really nice. I kept shooting it. I probably had it for a little over a month and put about 250 rounds through it. And I was shooting it, had it all put together correctly, but the barrel actually tilted up and it hit the slide, and it took the slide and peeled it back. And so it was a catastrophic failure. And luckily it was purchased through Davidson's. That was the distributor, and they had the lifetime warranty on it through Davidson. So I took it back to the gun shop that I purchased it. I showed it to them. They were like, oh my gosh, haven't seen that. And so I exchanged it and used the store credit to purchase another pistol. So, but that was when they first came out. So hopefully a lot of things have changed. But Armsman had the same issue. So yeah, it's like I said, the only way you'll know is if you shoot it a lot, and some of those pistols like that, even the lower budget pistols, I'm just concerned with people not shooting them enough to really, really test them. Some people might just load them up and put them in their drawer and don't take them to the range and don't test the mags and don't test other stuff to make sure that they're going to function correctly when you need it. That's the only thing, I would be definitely concerned with, and I would want people to test whatever they get. I don't care if it's a state-of-the-art pistol, test it. What's up, Uncle Dan? Glad you could join, brother. Let's see here. Yeah, Humble, I don't know if y'all follow him on Instagram, but Humble actually has the Sky Red Dot, and he put up a little post on it, and he's been testing it, and or he ran, I think, 100 rounds or 100 and something rounds through it, and so far it's been okay for him. So let's see here. All right, and as far as the thing that's happening in Virginia, and some of the surrounding states, I've heard from even some people that I personally know from some of the surrounding states that they'll even go over to that state to help because they live close by. If that happened in a state or a state close to you, like the state over, would you go over and help? Just curious if that would be something y'all would do as patriots, and give an honest opinion. If you would, you would. If you wouldn't, you wouldn't. Some people are just like, hey, I'm just going to worry about what's going on in my own state. What would you do? So be interesting to hear. Looks like 17 will be joining us here in a little bit. Let's see here. Yeah, and this is actually good. If someone wants a gun to stay in the nightstand and never be used, they should be getting a revolver. I do agree with that. You can get brand new. Revolvers and stuff like that, and a lot of them work really great. Sometimes if you get an old revolver, they can be out of time. I've actually had that, and it was one of my old personal revolvers that actually went out of time. So like when you pull it, of course it's supposed to hit the cylinder or hit your centerfire cartridge to go off, and it was out of time, so it wasn't doing that correctly. So this was way back when I had to send that pistol to Smith & Wesson. They fixed it and sent it back, and after that, no issues. So definitely, even though it's a revolver, take it out and shoot it. Make sure that it works correctly. Test. You have to test everything. I've even had brand new mags that were an issue. Matter of fact, I think it's this one. This one, I actually put the Shield Arms. I put a Shield Arms extension on it. And when I put the extension on it, the follower was actually sticking in the bottom. No, it wasn't this mag. I'm sorry. It was one of my P10F mags. I've already redone it. But it was actually sticking. The follower was staying down in here. So what I did is I took it all apart, looked at it, and inside the factory mag, there was a small burr in there, and the burr was catching the follower. And that was in a brand new CZ mag. So I actually filed that off, and it worked perfectly with the factory base plate because the follower would never go down far enough. But once the follower went down far enough with the extension on there, it was catching that burr. So it's something that never would have had a problem until I put the extended base plate on it. So definitely check your gear, but now it's working correctly, so you never know what's going to go on with it. Oh, is it? Let's see here. Happy birthday, Uncle Dan. Today is Uncle Dan's 55th birthday. So tell him happy birthday. Go over to his channel and wish him a happy birthday also. And as I always say, a lot of people on here have great channels. Please go and sub to everyone. Put out a lot of videos. But yeah, Whiskey Warrior. Let me catch back up on the chat here. I would be there in a heartbeat. No comment. Let's see here. Vodka, yeah. Okay, here we go. Let's see what we got here. Well, where did that question go? Boy, oh, there it is. Questions are going fast here. Okay, red flag questions. Suppose they come for your guns. Would you open your safe for them or make them crack it? What do you think? I'm not trying to be rude, Dennis, but for one, you know, I don't think that would ever happen with me. You never know. But yeah, they're not just going to walk in my place willingly. But, or, you know, put it this way. That's, I think y'all know how I feel about that. Yeah, revolvers will never go out because of their reliability. I do agree with that. Uncle Dan feels 25. That's awesome. All right. Yeah, you know, I just hope that never happens in Texas. I hope they never start going around with that. You know, our governor is a good governor. He's not perfect, but hopefully that will never start happening here. Oh, and these, I got these things. I wanted y'all to see these. Thought they were kind of interesting. I'd never seen one before. Don't know if y'all ever had, but they're made by Leupold. It's got a little small clip on it. Trying to show it as well as I can. A little small clip on it, so you can clip it on your belt. You can clip it on whatever you want. Check this out. One of those little cleaning rags for like your scope or your Delta Point Pro or your Trijicon SRO. It's got one of those little microfiber cleaning cloths that pop out of it. So you just fold it all up and jam it in there. But thought that was kind of cool. They sent me some of these, so thought that was kind of different. Never seen anything like it, but I think it's a neat little idea. And it just all goes up into this little thing and hangs into that. So that's the way it is. Let's see here. Thank you for saving me money on my lock grips that I'll get on Saturday for my AccuShadow. That's awesome. Yeah, and if you need lock grips, you can use my discount code. It's BJGG10. That'll save you 10% off anything but custom orders. And they've got a huge selection of all kinds of pistols. We all know that, Berettas, 1911s, you know, whatever you want. But yeah, thank you for using it. I appreciate you. You know, trying to save everybody some money. That's what it's all about. And they're great grips. I love them. Let's see. Any thoughts on the Gundies? I'm familiar with them, you know, like you can vote for the best shooter and stuff like that. I've kind of seen a lot of stuff going around about that, you know, did some votes and stuff. I think it's kind of cool. You know, I think it's good that, you know, and people can even write themselves in there if they want to and have people vote on them. You know, that's not kind of my thing for, you know, to write yourself in, but I think it's cool, man. If people want to do that and vote for other people, that's awesome, man. Let's see here. Looking for a full-size, long slide pistol, CZ P10F or Glock 34, or should I keep saving to get a Shadow 2? Jason, man, the Glock 34, I've shot it. I owned one. It's a great gun. I've got the 17L. I actually prefer the 17L, but you can't use it in a lot of competitions. Personally, between the Glock 34 and the P10F, if you have a lot of Glock experience, you might really like the Glock 34, and it's not a bad pistol. I'm not trying to tell you which one to choose. But out of those two, I prefer my CZ P10F. Optic Ready, I actually shoot it better personally. I've had other people that shoot Glocks, shoot the P10F, and they really like it. And the mags, stock mags hold 19 rounds versus 17 rounds. So, it's just going to be your preference, which I always capitalize YOU, because ultimately it's going to be what you like. But the Shadow 2, man, is hard to beat. I mean, it's really hard to compare a polymer gun to a Shadow 2. Shadow 2 gives you the weight. It gives you a double action, single action trigger that you can tune really, really nicely. And the single action is lighter than both of those striker fire pistols. Mine, I think I've got mine down to, I want to say it's like 3 pounds, some odd ounces. In single action, you can actually get them even lighter than that. But sometimes if you get them too light, they won't detonate every primer. So you just got to be careful with that. But the Shadow 2, man, if you're looking for a gun that you can hang a light on, that you can shoot probably really well, even with the fiber optics, and then eventually you could get one cut optic ready like I have. I mean, I've got 3 Shadow 2s, and I love them. So, I mean, you just can't go wrong with a Shadow 2. And I wish I made commission from CZ, because I'd probably be a rich man off how many I've sold. But people are saying it's cold outside. Yeah, and Jason, that's a very good question. Harry's asking, are you going to shoot competition with it? Seeing your choices, it sounds like you either want a really good target gun or you are planning on shooting competitions. So I'd be interested in your answer also. But yeah, they're great pistols, man. Like I said, the P10F is no slouch either. Yeah, a lot of people are voting on the Shadow 2. All right. Does anyone have any experience in para-ordnance, P10, P12, 45 ACP? I have shot a para-ordnance 45 before. Not a bad pistol. It's an older one. From what I understand, they're owned by Remington now. I don't even know if they're making pistols anymore. So I don't know that. But from what I've heard, some of the mags can be kind of finicky. It won't just take any mag. So I don't know, man. I would probably check and see, I would definitely check around and see what availability is and parts availability, things like that, before you decided to get one, just to make sure. Because I don't know if everything switches over to that gun. I've heard that some things have to be really machined to make it work. And then I've heard that some stuff, like EGW stuff, just snaps in. So don't quote me on that. That's just what I've heard. I've never owned one. Young Guns. Big John's Guns of Gear, thanks for carrying the torch on these chats. It's not unnoticed. Well, thank you very much, man. I love interacting with people. That's kind of what I do on a daily basis. So, and want to keep these chats going because y'all give a lot of information. I learned stuff from y'all, and I hope you learned stuff from me. And like I said, we've got a really nice tight group of community here, and I want to definitely keep it going. Revolvers around. Yes, they are. Hey, Uncle Dan, take care, brother. Happy birthday again, man. 19X. 19X is a great pistol. Really enjoy mine. Okay, here we go. He's saying go to the range and try them both. Yeah. And if you have access to them, not a lot of ranges, even some of our bigger ranges, have like Shadow 2s, P10Fs. A lot of them might have the Glock 34 to test, but I haven't really seen any P10Fs. I've seen the P10Cs, and all the P10F is just a larger version of the P10C. So if you like the P10C, you're probably going to like the F. It's just a larger version. And also like the F because it has a lot more real estate on the grip, because I have really large hands. So that might be a determining factor for you if you have really large hands, because the Glock 34, believe it or not, the grip is too small for me, where the P10F, it's definitely not. It fits me great. Really, really like it. Here we go. All right, he's answering. Just joined a local club and need to look up the schedule. I know they do 3-gun. Didn't see any other than cowboy action, so I was interested in maybe doing that. Okay, yeah, cool. I mean, you can shoot any of those in 3-gun. So it depends on what you want to do. Some people like a polymer pistol to do 3-gun. They might be rolling around on it. I don't care if mine get scratched up because they're tools. That's what's going to happen with them. But just depends on what you're wanting to do with it. 17 should be joining here shortly. Just got a notification that said he was about 15 minutes out, and that was about, I don't know, 8 or 9 or 10 minutes ago. So he should be on soon. Didn't have paper targets. Times want to challenge myself. Yeah. And that's one thing I do, you know, and I know some people know this. I'm the paper plate bandit. I do buy tons of paper plates, and I stock them in my big gun safe in the truck. And I have targets whenever I need them. They're cheap. They work great. They're about the size of an A-zone. So I use a lot of paper plates. So thanks, Harvey. Yeah, I see on your icon, you've got a red hat going on too. Yeah. I got to support my Texas heritage, born and raised. Music saying never go past 7 yards. Where would I really shoot? Yeah, I mean, it's depending on what you want to use any gun for. If you want to do close quarters, if you want to take it out far, or whatever you want to do. Yeah, and Harry's got a valid point too. If you think you're going to get into optics, skip the Shadow 2, revisit in the future. If you want a G34 or a POF, a lot cheaper, and they work just as well. And that's true. I mean, striker fires work, you know, better, and they're a lot less maintenance than a Shadow 2. So you don't have to change out a bunch of springs and all that stuff. Mags are a little cheaper. Well, actually, you can get Metgars for the Shadow 2 pretty inexpensive. But I really like metal. I prefer metal mags over polymer mags. That's just my opinion too. And Glock doesn't offer metal mags, but they work. Yeah, paper plates on the low. Yeah, and this is one thing, you know, and I know that CKM's talking to music. One thing that I would recommend doing if you can, and I know my eyesight's not perfect anymore like it used to be when I was younger, but if you're used to shooting 7 or 10 yards, you know, take it out to 15, take it to 12, take it to, you know, 20, stuff like that. Try to challenge yourself a little more. And that's one thing I like about the paper plates, because they're small targets, even at distance. And it tends to help me focus a little better than just having this big, huge paper target. You know, but challenge yourself going different distances. If you just become a 7-yard shooter, that's what you're going to be comfortable with. Try to come out of your comfort zone and definitely shoot a little farther. You know, I've tried some 50-yard shots on steel. I'm not the greatest long distance shooter with pistols, but you know, it'll definitely challenge you. It'll make you focus a little more, you know, and things like that. Pistol Pete, that is a valid point. The 2.0 Optic Ready, I have this weird feeling that they are going to come out at this SHOT Show. I know that people have been testing them, some law enforcement. So I think Smith & Wesson is probably going to release the Optic Ready. That's just my opinion. I don't know anything for fact, but I mean, they've got to. You know, they've got the Performance Center Shield out. You know, they've got some of these, you know, little pistols. And I think if, you know, they really want to jump into the marketplace, they need to get that Optic Ready out. So I bet you they show it at SHOT Show. That's what I'm thinking. And definitely, if you're outdoors, it is really fun to hammer some steel from farther distances. I really do enjoy that. So let me catch back up here. Yes, and you know, that's the thing. Romans has a valid point here too, and I've said that too. Paper is the way to check your accuracy. Steel is just the way to bang steel. You know, I know some people that don't ever paint their steel targets. They just plaster them, and when they hear the ding, they think they're good. You know, depending on the distance. But you know, even when you're shooting up close or closer on steel, you know, you can see your groups, but paper will definitely show you your groups a lot better. So aim small, shoot small. Yes, that's correct. Yeah, the left-hand challenge, that's one thing. And if y'all haven't seen it, I put up a video about the left-hand challenge. I just threw it out there to some people because I do not practice with my left hand like I should. And I'm just being honest. I don't fib about anything. I can't throw a ball left-handed. I throw like a sissy. You I just don't do a lot of stuff. Now I can turn wrenches. I can do stuff like that with my left hand. But as far as like perfect hand-eye coordination, I don't have that with my left hand. So I am going to be working on the left hand a lot more. Just so like in competition, we have to shoot with the right hand and then switch to the left. And with the left, I'm so much slower and a lot less accurate. So that's one thing I'm going to be working on too, just to try to get that a lot better. Let's see here. Freelo is actually saying, all right, everyone should be able to shoot an 8-inch target. I'm assuming he's saying at 25 yards if you take your time. I would say some people can. As you get older, I have a slight shake. It's not a tremor, but it is a shake. And I'm not as accurate as I used to be. I'm an older guy. If I bench rest it, yeah, I mean, that's not an issue. But I don't really try to shoot from a bench rest because that's not how I'm going to shoot in real life. So I don't really bench test a lot of stuff. But, for me, shooting an 8-inch group at 25 yards, I really can't see the target that well at 25 yards. I could see a paper plate at 25 yards, which I don't know. I think paper plate might be bigger than 8 inches, but I can shoot a paper plate at 25 yards if I take my time and I can see it really well. But for a lot of people, their vision's not that great. So, it just doesn't, I wouldn't say you have to shoot a 25-yard group, but, it would be good if you could, but I wouldn't say you have to. But it's, of course, to each their own too. Let's see here. Yeah, I was going to say with the CLP or LCP, that would be difficult. I have that little Bodyguard 380, and man, I could shoot that thing. I could shoot it pretty accurate at 7 yards, and the trigger was horrendous. It was really bad. I could shoot it pretty accurately at 7 yards, but 10 yards, 12 yards, it would open up a lot. But then again, if you have a great trigger, actually makes you shoot better or helps you shoot better. So that's why the old double action revolvers will definitely put you in your place. There was actually a good question here. Okay. Keith Gregory, what about using a laser on your carry gun? Lasers are what they are. I don't know if you have really played with the lasers. I have. I've got 3 of them with the light laser combos from Streamlight. And the lasers, like if you're shooting in the dark, of course, for far distance, the laser kind of goes away. Sometimes you can't see it very good. Up close and personal, it's probably not bad. Lasers are just not my thing. But if you like it and it works for you and you're accurate with it, use it. I just don't prefer lasers. That's just me personally. Nothing against anybody that shoots with one. I just would never put one on my carry gun. That's just me personally. And I've seen the Crimson Trace with, that are built into the grips and things like that. And I've shot with them before, but they just don't really do anything for me. But like I said, if you like it, by all means, use it. Any good range bags? Lynx makes really, really good bags. If you haven't tried out Lynx Defense, he makes really nice bags. They're also made in the U.S. He makes pistol bags, rifle bags, all that. But you can check out Lynx Defense. You can also use my code Big Johnson if you want to save 5%. And I'm not pushing it. But they are great bags. So, and it's Big Johnson with a capital B, capital J, all smashed together. And we'll have something soon on that. So stay tuned. But he does make really good bags. Let's see here. Yeah, and the CPX2, I guess that's the Sky with the safety on it. I actually played with one today. Man, that safety is really, the way that they put it in the grip, it's really bad. I've never shot that one. I owned the one without the safety, but it is what it is. So if you like it and you can shoot with it, by all means do it. I love to shoot for fun and to train. For instance, last month I took my Savage 308 a few times and fine-tuned it. I got 3 deer. So, yeah, I mean, that's awesome. And then 308 is my favorite round. I've got several rifles in 308, but that's awesome, man. And on that Savage, you probably had the AccuTrigger, and I really do like that trigger. It's actually a very nice trigger if you haven't shot with it, because you can set it up kind of to your liking. Let's see here. Oh, somebody leaving. Merry Christmas if you're leaving. Yeah, Channel Cat 17 is going to be jumping in here in a little bit. So, yeah, this is actually, it's amazing how much 1.5 magnification red dot can do if you have bad eyesight. That is true. Any magnification, sometimes if you get a red dot and you throw a magnifier behind it, that can help out tremendously for a lot of people with older eyes. And still to this day, I have 20/20 vision, but with my astigmatism, it kind of like, especially if there's a lot of lights and stuff like at the range. And what's funny is I actually shoot better outdoors than I do indoors. But when it's really bright with my astigmatism, it kind of prisms stuff. So it makes it kind of look like when headlights come at me when I'm driving at night, they turn into prisms. So it's kind of weird, but I think, there's different forms of astigmatism. So magnifiers can help. Matter of fact, if you get a prism scope where it's not just a regular red dot, they say that's the best thing for astigmatism, but no one makes a small optic for a pistol that's made like that. So, okay, Harry, we'll let you let it out of the bag. I wasn't going to say anything. Lynx Defense is dropping a really cool bag soon that I had a lot of input on. So, yes. And Harry did. So get ready for it. It's coming. Let's see here. Green lasers are better than red. Yeah, and that's, I've looked through a green laser. I haven't shot, well, no, I did take that back. I did. I shot a swamp fox or something, but it was a really bright day and it kind of blended it out a little bit. But the green, if you get the right one, like some of the Holosuns, it's a different kind of green. So if you put it like in green grass, it looks different. So it's like more of a fluorescent green, and it actually looked pretty cool. But I haven't like spent a lot of time with one. I just I think I shot a mag through one. But that was when they first came out, and that was on that was a red dot, not on a pistol, but it was on a rifle. So, but I think if that looks better for your eyes, now I do know that I prefer green fiber optic over red, so I would probably like a green dot over a red too if I really spent some time with it. Let's see here. When will Apex release a trigger kit for the LCR? They won't. That gun's been out forever. I really don't think they have any. I don't think they're going to mess with that. Oh, here we go. Hello, sir. How are you?
Good evening, everyone. Hello from the North Pole.
I was going to say, are you freezing your butt off?
I certainly am.
What's your temperature there?
It's like I think it's like 20 degrees, and then tomorrow it's supposed to be 9 degrees as a high. So
wow.
It's really balmy.
That's cold.
Oh yeah.
That is cold. Well, I didn't know if you had heard about the new YouTube. Live chat thing.
Yep, I certainly have.
Yeah.
So no more guns. We can't show any guns. So I don't know. What can we show them? Can we show them a hammer?
Yeah.
Is that less dangerous? I'm not sure.
Or a knife?
Oh my God! Don't do that. It's scary.
Yeah. No, it's whatever.
Yep.
Yeah. I just think they make it up as they go along.
Well, I guess, I don't know. Maybe it's because all the fallout from Whiskey Stupid, that happened, so as a result, maybe they're trying to, cover their own behinds.
Did he ever show, I never saw him show a gun.
No, but it's just the idea of going live and saying this is the Boogaloo and all that other crap. Yeah. So maybe they're trying to prevent that, but they don't prevent other things. They just prevent that. But who's surprised by it? Anybody? Nope.
Yeah, I know. Like I said, they're going to keep at it. So it's not going to get any better. It's probably going to get worse.
Yeah. Merry Christmas, everybody. By the way.
I was going to say Merry Christmas, everyone. So I wore my stylish hat this evening.
I didn't. I just wore a hat to keep my bald head warm.
Yeah, there you go, man. They both work.
Unfortunately, I came in very late. I was at a big wig convention, mixing elbows with the big important people in the world. So
got to do it. Got to do
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Been there many times.
Definitely drank a little too much too, but that's all right.
Hey. Yeah, that keeps you warm in the cold weather, though.
Yeah. Initially, till you get.
Well, I had a question earlier, and
Yeah.
I'll ask you if you could get any gun for Christmas, pistol, rifle, whatever, any gun, what would you want?
Well, this past weekend I went shooting with a couple of my friends, and one of my buddies, he's like a huge collector of old like World War II, World War I rifles.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a chance to shoot an actual Garand, and I'm telling you that is still my favorite rifle. Like I had a Springfield M1, and it's not the same thing. I mean, it's not even close. I mean, yes, it's the same action. Yes, it looks the same, but it just was just to be able to shoot a rifle like that and just have that experience. And I'd still think like an original Garand would be my choice. Absolutely.
Cool. Yeah, and I've shot the M1A, and then I've shot the original Garand, and the Garand was not mine, and I was just like, nah, I mean, it's cool, but I was like, is it something I would want to have all the time and shoot all the time? Probably not, but shoot occasionally, I think that would be pretty cool.
Well, you know what I definitely enjoyed was the when you go through the entire clip, the clip pops out and you just hear that metallic springing sound. I mean, it's just so cool. I mean, it's just there's such a coolness to the rifle. Yeah, I mean, it's not the most practical and it's not probably the best choice, but I mean, just from the nostalgic factor, the history factor, knowing that this rifle literally, freed a world, so to speak. To me, it's huge. I love that rifle. Love it.
Yeah. Well, and that's like when I shoot my grandfather's, I've got a actual, Mauser, 8mm, and it is a real German Mauser. So, and y'all can, take what you want out of that, but it does have the markings. And when you shoot that thing, it's like freaking cool because, and there's a story behind it, but so it was really shot in the war, and it's like who shot it, who owned it, I mean, there's definitely a nostalgia thing behind that. So it's really cool when you can shoot something like that is not like a replica,
right?
It's the real deal. Exactly. That is very cool.
Yep. It just makes you think, the guys back in that day were a lot smaller than we are today. And yet they're carrying these heavy ass wooden rifles that weigh a ton. The ammunition weighed a ton.
Yeah.
And just to be able to do that.
Different.
Yeah, that was for sure. But it was good. I had such fun shooting. It was great. It was really good.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I've thought about this, and this is a question that I got asked, on one of my things, and I was thinking, and I'm like, what the heck would I just have to have? And it's like, I want a DWX pistol, but is that like a dream gun? Probably not. And I mean, probably what it would be, and this is going to be really weird to say, it would probably be a Korth revolver. And I'm not a revolver guy, but I tell you what, I played with that, or, kind of held it and played with the trigger and stuff. And that revolver it's not your normal revolver. Of course, it's, $8,000 to $10,000 too, but just the way it looks, the way it feels. I mean, that thing is just crazy, but you can definitely call me a fan to that pistol.
Sure.
That revolver.
It is nice to have choices, isn't it?
Yeah. I was going to say, but that'd be a very expensive one that I'll probably never see.
Yeah.
Because for one, even if I had it, how often would I shoot it? I mean, who knows? I might shoot the hell out of it.
It's true. Yeah. You might just fall in love with it,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, and I like revolvers. The old school ones like I have, they're okay, but they're not like some of the tricked out single action, high performance models like some of these other ones are nowadays.
Right. Yeah.
But I grabbed, and I posted the deal, but I grabbed two more of these, the 507.
Yeah, I saw those. I was like, damn it. I actually need to get one more because of the MRD. But
he still has them. Now they're on back order, but you can still get them for the price. And that is the place. It's 3CR Tactical, $229 with free shipping and no tax.
That's very good.
That's a smoking deal. I've never seen them that cheap ever. I mean, I've seen them for like $229, $239, but then you've got shipping and, tax in some states. But
yep.
That is a smoking price.
Yeah, and I would definitely recommend that over that Swamp Fox.
Yeah.
that's been an abysmal waste of time.
Yeah.
So I did a video on it. I was high on it initially, but now that I've had it for a while, it's not worth your money, and I don't care. I mean, it is what it is. First off, it's had 3 batteries in it, and all 3 batteries have died. So something's drawing current out of it. They were fine. They said, yes, send it back and all this other stuff, and I haven't even sent it back yet because I really feel like just throwing it up against the wall and just be moving on because I don't want it. I don't want another one because how do you do that? How do you send out a product that unfortunately doesn't work? So it's
well, and it could. I mean, like inside, where they actually spot, they spot solder them. There could be a bad connection there where two of the solder welds are touching, so it is pulling current. But I would definitely exchange it out, and then I wouldn't carry it on a carry gun, but I would put a battery in it. I would put it on a gun. I would shoot it, test it, and if it draws again and doing the same thing the first one did, yeah, I'd be done. But
yeah, I thought about that, just using it as a practice tool.
Yeah, I would at least change it out, because I've got that damn Delta Point Pro that I need to send back too, where the bottom screen's dead.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not buying any Delta Point Pros.
But I am still happily shooting irons. I'm not going to lie.
Okay, there you go.
As a matter of fact, I shot that MRD, man. I really like it. If any of you are on the fence for the FN 509M, the medium size one, I got the medium MRD and I shot it the other day, the day I shot the rifles. It was really good. It's very, very good trigger.
Yeah.
But then again, it has the Apex trigger in there now.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm really liking that FN. I've been spending a lot of time with it, taking it to the range every time I go, and I'm really enjoying that pistol. It shoots good now, of course, with the Apex trigger, but I'm really enjoying it too.
Well,
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm going to double up the kit. So I actually bought an M Carbo kit for it as well. So I'm going to throw the springs in that. I might actually change out the sear spring as well, and then just keep the Apex sear and the trigger in there, what came with it, and then see how well it does. Because right now it's pulling at, I think, about, I want to say just almost 5 pounds. So I want to see if I can get it to about 4 to 4.5 even, and see what happens. But I'm kind of excited to be doing that. Although the pin, man, holy cow. Yeah. I almost gave up. on that damn gun. I actually contacted Apex and said, hey, man, can you guys take this and do this for me?
Yeah.
Because it was impossible. And then I just kept doing it. I destroyed my brass hammer, as you can see.
Yeah.
I beat the crap out of it. And it mushroomed slightly, but not enough to, do anything, bad about it. So, but I'm glad I got it done because that trigger is amazing now with the Apex.
Yeah, I used 2 BFH hammers or a big BFH hammer on it and 2 snap-on punches and actually bent the punches.
Yeah.
These are snap-on punches and I bent them. And then after that, I was like, I'm done. And I took them to a gunsmith that, specializes in that kind of stuff.
You know what I did? I used a nail punch and I had to grind it down and flatten it out. And then I just put it on a concrete floor with a roll of tape. And I used a regular ball peen hammer. And it didn't do anything. And then I just used this brass one, and the brass one was able to push it out, which I was surprised.
The other one might have started it, and maybe that one just, finished it out. But I did, my workbench, I built a solid wood workbench, so there's no flex in it. It's not like this table where it wiggles. Right. And I saw the Apex videos, hey, put it on the concrete and did all that. And I was just like, you know what? Yeah. This is crazy. And I know that, it's designed to be in there, but man, yeah, here's let's see. And Channel Cat Chaser wiped out a Walmart.
I saw that.
So let's see here. I did.
I went to Walmart.
I was doing a shooting video, and one of my Holosuns, it did something weird. It kind of went off, and then it went back on. And at first, it flashed. It flashed, and then it went off, and then it came back on, and then it stayed on constantly. And I did it on a video, and C. Kim was asking me how it's running with the new battery. And C. Kim, I didn't have to change the battery. I've been checking it, and it's been on the whole time. So I don't know if it was like flickering from solar, like if the lights were messing with it, if it was going from solar to manual. So I changed it to manual, and I left it on the manual mode where I can manually adjust it. And I haven't had any problems since. So I don't know, because I did read in the manual, it says when you're having a low battery, that your little either dot or whatever you're choosing will flash. And mine hasn't flashed anymore. So I'm like, okay, I guess the battery's okay. So that's what I've done with it. And so far it's still been working. So I don't know. I guess I'm just going to keep an eye on it. That's not one I carry for self-defense. So I'm going to keep an eye on it, definitely see, how it does.
Yeah.
Okay. Two Wheel Nut. He ordered the P09 SR model. I wonder if that's the Urban Gray. I think he was wanting the Urban Gray, but for 423 off Grab a Gun. Yeah, you're welcome, man. That's a good price too. So I'm assuming that's not the Urban Gray. It's probably just the standard model. But still, that's a really good price for a P09. Most of your P07s are that price. Yeah, and I don't know if you saw my video today of that SIG, but I was shooting it, the X5, and I took the mag out and racked it, and I did a really powered slingshot, and the freaking guide rod's still sticking out of the front. And SIG told me that I was putting the guide rod in crooked and all this, and I was like, "Are you being serious?" I mean, the guy was a total ass, and I wrote him a nice little email back, and I haven't heard back from him, but everybody saw it on the video exactly what it did, so I'm not making this up. But yeah, SIG is and I would never use it as a defensive weapon anyway. But they've changed it on the Legion. They knew there was a problem with the original ones, so they need to upgrade the people. And that gun's still under warranty, so it's less than a year old. So they still need to replace it. And I was trying to get them to replace it with the upgraded guide rod, but screw SIG, I'll just buy one and put it in there. But that just shows you their customer service is crap, and everybody's like, "Hey, you need to call and talk to a different representative." And I'm sure I could probably get somewhere, but it's just like, man, the guide rod's like, $30 or whatever. So
yeah,
I'm just to the point now where, it's probably going to be my last SIG I ever buy. So I'll just leave it at that. But what else has been going on? Anything exciting? And
I shot the FN. I shot the used P10 that I bought, which was great. It's nice to have that gun back in the old safe there. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. It was funny. I shot those two in my Glock 19, and of course the Glock 19 was the worst shooting gun of the three.
Really?
But it's just a different feel compared to the other two. The other two are just better ergos and everything else. So it was interesting.
So your ergos have a lot to do with it. If you feel confident in the gun and confident in the grip, and you're used to that gun, it does come across.
And I got some other things coming hopefully soon. I got another P10 coming, but it's an S model, which I'm pretty excited about because I was able to finally look at it in the gun shop, and I decided to go ahead. And I actually
think it fits well. How did it fit your hand?
I think it's a good fit for me. I have large hands, but I don't have extremely large hands.
Yeah.
But I think for someone who, my biggest question on that gun was, how big is it really? Is it as big as a Glock 19? Is it small as a 26? And it really feels like it's an in-betweener because the bottom of the magazine, the base plate of the magazine, is really where my pinky fits, and it gives me enough to grip it. Now, I actually bought, and it's going to be sent to me, but a company makes like these really lame base plates for it that give it a little bit more of a grip on the bottom. So I'm actually going to go with those, see how that works. But I actually think it's a Goldilocks P10 for large hands, and that may be yours, obviously. But I think to me, it's the perfect combination, I guess, because you're getting the ergonomics, but it's absolutely concealable, and it is also absolutely carryable. But it's going to be interesting because I also got the M&P subcompact, the 2.0, and I can't wait to get that because that gun's tiny, but it's not super tiny.
Yeah.
So that's kind of an interesting little gun too. So I'm kind of excited to be getting those and seeing how they perform.
Yeah, and I was going to say, I know that you got those base plates. Did you get the Kane arms?
No, I got some cheap shit I found on eBay. I believe it was UTG plates or something like that. So it's just to see how they work. I mean, they were fairly inexpensive, so if I don't like them, it's not a huge loss.
Because these little plus twos, that you get from CZ that you can buy, these little plus twos, they're only like $6 or $7.
Well, they look just like that. They look just like that, but they're not a plus two. They're a plus zero because I can't get them more than Okay. And my magazines had to be pinned because they're 12 rounders, and I can only have 10 because more than 10 is scary.
Yeah, I was going to say, because I know these are cheap and they work really good, and I've dropped the crap out of these on concrete, on everything, and I can't break them. I mean, even the polymer CZ ones, I haven't broken one, so I'm like, these things are pretty damn good.
I mean, Romans is saying it's like my 5th P10. He's probably right. It might be like 20th, actually. But, one of the things that, after shooting it and kind of playing around with it, that gun is a pro and con gun. It's a gun that I I hate, but I actually really like it. It's kind of one of those weird firearms because for as many good things as they did on that handgun, there are so many things that I don't like about it. And it's just one of those guns. But you shoot it, it shoots great. It's really easy to just handle the gun. And I think that's its biggest plus. But when you look at it, like the roll pins suck. The pin that holds the back strap is a pain in the ass to get out. It's a pain in the ass to get in, and then half the time you either mushroom it, break it. It's just some of the things they did were stupid. I'm not going to lie to you. And honestly, it's sort of like that with the S. The S is really nice, but there's so many things that are stupid about it. The inability to come with that. It doesn't come with plates. I think that's the dumbest thing that you can think of. And then everybody's charging like $50 plus to make a plate for it, and I think that's stupid. And then you compare it to the 509 MRD, and that gun is like the complete gun. It has anything and everything you'd want on something that's optic ready already. So I just thought I'd show it to you, but we're going to get banned if we do that. But
and going back to that, if I didn't carry the P10C and the P10F so much, and I carry other guns too. And I mean, I've carried the 509, but if the P10 was not in existence, I would be carrying the 509. Without fail. I mean, the gun is awesome. Shoots good. I like it. I had to change the trigger and do some little stuff to it, but I mean, I think it's a great option. So,
and actually, I like it better than full size actually too. I mean, the full size is nice, but this one just seems to really work for me. And it's a good gun. I mean, they're both good, solid guns. I have yet to find something aside from the trigger and the MRD that I don't like. The back straps are kind of lame, not going to lie. But other than that, the gun is it's a really, really solidly built gun. I know some people say, well, the pin doesn't, breaks, and how does it perform in water? Well, I'm not going scuba diving with it. And, I'm going to put the new reinforced Apex pin in there when I get it. But, at the same time, I think it's a really good offering. I'm really surprised that, did it do really well? I don't think so. I don't think it did very well in the market, maybe because of the price, I guess.
It could be, but the medium 509 is too small for me personally. So if you have really big hands, you might want the full size. Have you tried the Optic Ready P10? G-Man, yes, I have the P10F Optic Ready. It's a great, fabulous gun. I haven't shot the Optic Ready C, but I have Optic Ready Cs that I've milled, and they're fantastic. I mean, great gun.
The P10 I got is Optic Ready. So once I already got a plate from some company, and I'll do a review on that because they're kind of a new company. They're not really well known at this point. And they were the only ones that made affordable ones for me. So I was like, fuck it, let me do that. And then they make them out of what's the word I'm looking for? I guess a more rigid aluminum.
Yeah, it's this company right here. I have one of theirs, the 401 Manufacturing.
I believe that's it. Yeah.
They make them in red, black.
Yeah. I don't have any experience with it, so I just want to see. Don't tell me. Don't ruin it for me. So I just want to see how they perform and whether or not it's worth it. So we'll see.
Yeah, I have the red one.
But I did buy it. They didn't give it to me. I bought it.
Yeah, but I mean, I think it'll do fine. The whole thing about that is putting your screws in, making sure they're Loctited, and using the correct inch-pound torque wrench. Like for the Holosun, it's 15. I made a cheat sheet. For the Holosun, it's 15 inch-pounds. Trijicon's 12. But if you lock them down, and then I've shot them a whole crap load, and then I'll set my torque wrench to that correct amount in inch-pounds, and I'll double check it. Every one of mine have been tight. I haven't had one loosen up yet on any of my plates or direct mills. So, I mean, I think if you let it dry properly and follow the instructions,
sure.
I think it's going to work fine for you. So, and it's not like you're going to be taking it on and off and on and off and on and off and weakening it.
Right. Yeah. I'm not going to do that.
So I think once you lock it down, you'll be really good.
Yeah. And like I said, I'm not going crazy with the whole red dot thing just yet. There's a lot to learn for me. So right now it's just the RDO from, the Beretta, the Masada, and then I need one more for this MRD. And maybe one more for the P10S, but I don't know.
Someone was asking about the new P10 mag releases on the Optic Ready ones, and yes, they are better. But Apex even makes one for the new mag release. So if you want one that's really good, you can get one of theirs. And I have theirs on my old P10s, and their mag releases are legit. I mean, they're really, really good. So
Yeah, and the crazy thing is the one that I bought that was used, the compact, is one of the old ones. It's one of the ones that was made out
yeah,
in the Czech Republic, and the mag release is great on it.
yeah.
Like on both sides, it's totally easy.
You
It's
pr- you
so
probably
odd.
got one of the newer ones where they actually were doing the change, because
Yeah.
the very first ones, you remember the first ones, they
Mm.
were pretty tight,
Yeah.
and both
Yeah.
of mine were the first ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, CZ customer service is awesome. I've never had any issues with them personally, and I've called them a couple of times, and they've always been really good. You know, even just asking questions, not really needing anything fixed.
Mhm.
They've always been good to me. So
Yeah.
I don't know. There was another question too. Um, well, how did you like shooting the M1 Grand?
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Period.
Kathleen's asking if I've given up on the PO9, and no, I haven't. I mean, I've got two PO9s, two PO7s. A matter of fact, I shot the PO9, one of the PO9s, like, I don't know, probably 2 weeks ago, and I shot it okay. You know, I do shoot the PO7 better, but just that particular PO7. But no, I still love my PO9s. Matter of fact, it is set up as a home defense gun. So
Yeah. So let me ask you this:
yep,
now that the year is coming to an end very soon,
yep.
were you able to complete any wish lists, firearm wise? Like, did you have a wish list this year, and did you complete it, or what?
Yes, I got some, milled and customized that I was wanting to get done. So I did get those done. Matter of fact, I've got that one coming from Vulcan Machine Works, and I'm not going to say what it is, but it is freaking awesome. So stand by for that. I think it's a lot of people are going to be like, "What the hell?" Because it's not one you see every day. It's definitely different. So I will put that out there. So I'm really excited about that. Don't know if I'll get it before Christmas. Could be after Christmas, but I'm excited about it. And I've gotten a bunch of mags for ARs. I mean, I had mags, but now I got a bunch more. So I'm going to really start shooting rifles a lot more too. That is what my game plan is in 2020, is to get back into rifles, because I have a lot of them and they've just been sitting there, and I'm going to start shooting the damn things because I miss them. So that's kind of what I have. What about you?
Well, before the end of the year, I had a wish list of pistols that I wanted to own, and there was only one on the list that I was not able to acquire, which was a Glock 45. But everything that I put on my list is finally here. It's just a matter of getting them, So
Yeah.
I'm hoping that I actually have 3 waiting for me. I'm hoping maybe next week before Christmas, and then I'm gonna go up next week, put 2 more in. Those won't be until the new year, but I think I was able to acquire all the pistols that I want. And because I went shooting rifles this weekend, it kind of got me my blood flowing again about shooting rifles. So maybe in the new year, I think what I'd like to do is just build something. Feeling like the urge to build, and I think I'm going to wind up doing something from Fight Light, where I'll buy the lower and then just build the upper from it or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm toying with that idea just because it seems like the way to go, especially in New York, so that I can keep some features without having to worry about anything. But
Yeah. I mean,
it's
that's
something
good.
like that.
I've got like my AR-10 that I haven't shot in forever. I've got AR-15s, AR-15 pistols. I shot that PCC. I've been shooting the PCC more, and man, that was so much freaking fun. And I was just like, man, I'm missing doing it. So, actually put some stuff on my Christmas list, and I'm pretty sure that she got it for me. So, and it has to do with using rifles.
Right.
So, pretty excited about that. One of them was a new shooting mat because my other one was trashed. Matter of fact, it was actually coming apart from way back in the day, but it was about 20 years old. So I did get the new mat and stuff like that. So, and the thing even about the new range, it's 50 yards indoors, which is better than 25 yards. So I can at least stretch it out a little bit, try to go for some accuracy on paper, even though it's 50 yards. And I'm going to start going out to ETTS, which is a huge outdoor range. I mean, they've got up to 1,500 yards, which that's not in my wheelhouse. I'm not that guy. But, I just want to enjoy shooting stuff that I have.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
tired of sitting there and looking at it.
Right. And then I figured the range we were at last weekend, it's probably about a 35-minute drive from my house. It's outdoor, it's 200 yards. They have a
That's
pistol range outdoors. I mean, it was a little chilly, but that's a place that I'm going to start probably, going to more often, especially if I start getting into the rifle scenario, because like I said, it's just about having fun. As a matter of fact, the idea that, everybody wants to demonize handguns, firearms in general, and yet here I am with two males, two friends. We're just hanging out, we're having a good time, we're talking.
Yeah.
We're enjoying each other's company, and at the same time, we're also enjoying firing some vintage rifles and some handguns. Nobody got hurt, nobody died, and it was just an average day. The place was packed. So, and the funniest part was the place was packed and nobody died. So I always think it's so odd how they
Yeah.
demonize it, but yet they're not involved in this thing called the gun culture, whatever that means
Yeah.
to people. I don't want to call it gun community anymore because I'm totally on the outs with that. But I really think the gun culture has to be the thing that kind of stands out the most. The idea that it's all about camaraderie, man. It's just about
Yeah.
going out, having fun, and learning and shooting and getting better techniques and that type of stuff. But we'll never hear about that stuff.
Yeah. And I mean, I agree, totally agree with that. And the thing about shooting rifles is that like when you shoot pistols, everybody just shoots pistols. But when you're shooting rifles, if you've got a really cool rifle or they have a cool rifle, you want to shoot it, they watch, they shoot
Yeah.
it, you
Yeah.
watch, and then you talk about it. And man, I mean, you can get some great friendships. I've just met people at the range that just start talking to them. And now every time I'm there and they see me, they're like, hey, and I mean, I think it's good when you can have, that kind of camaraderie with like-minded people.
Sure.
So
Absolutely.
nothing wrong with that at all. This is actually a really good question, and I haven't asked. And this can go for both of us. But what is the best pistol you've shot this year?
Boy, excuse me. Best pistol I shot this year. I mean, for me, I'd have to say it was the Steyr MFA2. That was just a good gun. It's just such a good gun. I think that was the best gun I shot all year. As
Cool.
bad as that sounds. Best gun. I mean, that's such a general,
Yeah.
very large topic. Best gun, best how, best ergonomics, best trigger, best feeling, best flattest shooter. I don't know, but for me, I just thought that the Steyr was just a really good, solid gun.
Yeah. Probably the best pistol I've shot this year is probably my TSO that I made optic ready, that has the pistol mount on it and the side charger that Fire for Effect did for me. That thing is stupid accurate. I mean, the trigger is unbelievable. It's like 1 pound, 9 ounces. Of course, it's single action, but it's so freaking accurate. I mean, it's, got good weight. It's got the nice lock grip, palm swells on it, so it fits my hand really nice. That thing is just stupid. Matter of fact, Humble Marksman shot it, and he was like, holy crap. I mean, it's like a damn sniper pistol. I mean, it's just, we're from 50 yards, and it's just like ding, 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 ding. It's like, holy crap. So it's probably the most fun pistol I've shot. I like the Shadow 2 optic ready. They're tremendous pistols, but this thing is just on a different level.
So just, it's getting late here, but Roman 623 asks, I'm curious, what is your definition or differentiation between gun community and gun culture? So he's asking me because I made that statement. Do you want to add something to that, and then I can, or what do you want to do?
No, go ahead. You made the statement, so.
I think when I think of the terms gun community versus gun culture, and the reason why I don't like the term gun community any longer is because I feel like the gun community is full of shit. And gun culture is not. Gun culture is a way you live. It's a way you breathe. It's the way you kind of take it and go with it. A culture is your being. It's everything about you as an individual and as a group of people, where you share the same values, the same mindset about firearms and the Second Amendment and supporting it. And it's not necessarily the gun community, which does that when it's convenient, does it when they somehow can, sit on a soapbox and pump up their revenue and all that other crap. So that's my differentiation of it. I mean, it doesn't mean it's right or wrong, but that's how I look at it. So from now on, I'm going to talk about gun culture and the idea that when I go to a range and I see other people shooting and enjoying time with other people and talking about firearms and talking about the ridiculous laws that we face, to me, that's gun culture. That's not gun community. But again, that's just me.
My opinion of that would be when you say gun community, okay, you can have people with like-minded beliefs in the Second Amendment, but you also have some of the people in there that could be, I believe in the Second Amendment, but okay. You can have some FUDs in there. We all know, or I only hunt.
I hate that term.
Only shoot skeet. I only do this. So therefore, just don't take away my shotgun and everything's great. So I believe it needs to be a lifestyle. You live it, breathe it. You want to protect it in any way, shape, or form. And that's the way I look at it. I wouldn't really divide a term. I would divide the person that might be stating an incorrect term.
Right. And I'll give you a good example. The other night I was watching a channel that I don't watch, and I don't really care for their channel. Not because I know them in general. I just don't like their attitude about certain things. And the reason why I came up with this idea that there's a gun culture and a gun community is because this organization, if you want to call it, always is constantly bashing other YouTube creators, saying that when they make videos, they're not good enough, or they're not this, or they're not that. And I look at it from like, who are you? Like, who are you to determine? Like, what has given you the right to criticize a channel that has 3 subscribers, 10,000 subscribers, 500,000 subscribers? Like, that just annoys me. If you're a part of the gun culture, you support that. You try to better that, not sit there and I won't use the word ridicule, because then they'll say, well, we're not ridiculing, we're criticizing. Well, nobody needs your criticism. Instead of nailing these channels because you're a fucking expert, why don't you just say, hey man, I saw your video. Why don't you try to do this, make it better? Yeah. To me, that's what a community is supposed to do. But that's not what we see. So for me, it's more about the culture of it. Like, if I see a channel that makes a video and it sucks, I'm not going to sit there and say, hey, your video sucks, man. I might say, hey, that was a decent video, but do something like this. And I'm not one to criticize because my videos suck. All you see are my hands, So it's like, I just think it's gotten to be perverse almost, because it's not about guns. It's not about the culture of guns. It's about, hey, how do I get more subscribers so I can get more money every month from YouTube? And honestly, it's disgusting is what it is.
Yeah. Well, and I'll agree with some of that. I think we should all stand as one and all support each other, and I'm all behind that. And I'm a very positive person to anybody, even if they have 3 subscribers and I watch their video, I'll leave a comment, hey, good job, even if they're shooting, but I don't look at it like, man, I could outshoot you any day, because that's stupid. All that does is make the person feel bad and make them stop doing it. Right. So why would you want to take someone out of our group?
Exactly.
Why would you want to do that? I mean,
encourage people to join this.
Yes,
not sit there and disparage them because they're not, they don't do this type of videoing or videography or this audio. It's like, who gives a shit? I mean, like, this is fake. I mean, it's YouTube, guys. Yeah. We are fortunate because we get an audience to share things with, and people actually enjoy it for the most part. So we're lucky to have that, and I feel blessed that we have that. Yeah. But it's like, I'm just tired of all these supposed experts that sit there and bash everyone because it doesn't meet their criteria. And you know what? Like you said, perfectly said it, was, why would you want to discourage people from doing this? Why wouldn't you want to encourage more people to embrace this culture? Because that's what we need.
I mean, would you want to look at a little kid that's learning soccer or playing soccer and say, you suck, you need to quit now, you're horrible? Would you do that to a kid?
Right.
No. Why would you do that to a new shooter or someone who's trying to do YouTube videos and talk about what they enjoy? I mean, that happens when you get into the bigger channels. And that's one thing I said I'll never do. I will still answer comments. I mean, some of the big channels, and I understand they're getting tons and tons and tons of questions, but I'll ask legitimate questions like, hey, I'm curious about this thing, and sometimes I won't get a reply back. Sometimes I will, and understand they're busy and they've got thousands of comments. Right. But, I'm still going to try to, I'm coming up on 10,000. I think I'm only like 40 something away. And that's awesome. And I appreciate everyone that watches my stuff, because I don't make the the pure cinematography videos. I don't do all that. Right. I just do what I enjoy and hope that people watch and, just give my input on things. But my input doesn't mean that it's right. It's just my opinion. Right. And my opinion, because one thing that I deal with, and you might too, I know that you have a little, you have the trimmers, and I have a little bit of a shake. Well, and I mean, I have a little bit of a shake too, so I can't shoot bullseye groups anymore. I just can't do it unless I stick it on a ransom rest. But I don't think ransom rest is shooting anyway, unless you're shooting a rifle. But, I think we need to be a positive community and not beating people up, because all it does is turn people off, and then it makes you look like an asshole. So, I mean, positivity, man. I'm always, even in business, I'm a positive person. So, because we all start at zero. We all start at 0 subscribers, and we work our way up. So nobody starts at 50,000 subscribers on day one unless they buy their subs or whatever.
And some of us do it honestly without having to suck up to people who are supposedly the big stars here. So
I know, and that's another thing. I don't go to channels and hey man, give me a shout out. And you probably get that too, and I get that, and I'm just like, man, I don't.
That's not how it works, man.
Yeah, I just don't want to do that. I want to, be an honest person, and that's even like gear. I get stuff that, is junk, and I'm not going to tell people to buy it. But people can have their different opinions, but I just stay true to myself, because at the end of the day, all we have is our last name. That's all we have.
That's right, man. That's right. And like I said, I'm doing this just for the fun of it. I'm not an expert at anything. I just try to do better than the day before. That's it.
Yeah. Learn stuff every day. When you stop learning, you're, and all these perceived experts, and sometimes if you look at some of these videos, I've watched videos where I watched that video, but 2 hours before that video was some professional, and they were spewing the same stuff. And that person is just regurgitating what he just watched off that video 2 hours ago. And I'm like, really? I just watched that video. But
it's funny, because some of the criticism I get is, like, a lot of my videos, I always say, I say the word again a lot. And I'm noticing that. So I'm trying to like say to myself as I'm talking, don't say the word again, you moron. Yeah. And I do it anyway. It's just like one of those things. But I've tried to say this a million times. Like, I don't script anything. I don't have a script. I'm not reading off a board. I'm just going with whatever the hell comes in my brain. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And I'm okay with it. Like, to me, that's to me the authentic part of doing this. Why does it have to be scripted? Why not just do it from the cuff? Because to me, that's the relatable factor of all of this. I'm not going to script anything. Sometimes I'll have something in front of me so I remember certain details. But you know what? I'm just talking how I would talk to anybody else about something that I like or don't like.
Yeah. And that's the same here. I don't script anything, because I believe if I really believe in the product, I know about the product, I can express to you what I think about the product or the gun or whatever it might be. And if I'm just sitting here reading off something, then it just doesn't seem, and sometimes like they'll be showing other stuff, so you can't even see them while they're reading, but it just seems, I don't know, I don't know. Everybody's going to do their thing. And I'm, like you said, I'm not a person to judge someone. I do it my way. They do it their way. And, it is what it is. But
well, listen, I'm happy where I'm at. I got no complaints.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. So we grow as we grow. But anything, and also I did do the announcement. So if anybody didn't hear, we're not going to do next Wednesday because it's Christmas Day. So we're going to spend time with our families, and I hope y'all do too. Hug your loved ones. I mean, Christmas time, man. And there's people out there with sicknesses, diseases, cancer, all this crap, man. Just say some prayers for those people, because, man, with our community and our brethren that we have here in the group, and that can be ladies and men, that's what it's about. It's family at the end of the day. If YouTube crashed and burned tomorrow, we still have our family. So YouTube is not a priority.
That's right. I agree.
But, again, everyone out there, we really appreciate you coming on, spending time with us. Please subscribe to everyone.
Yep.
Great
Check out Holster Month. Don't forget Holster Month.
Yeah, got Holster Month. I've got, some stuff coming up. I did a bunch of shooting. I'll keep throwing out videos. Plus on Instagram, I've been throwing up a bunch of stuff on Instagram and deals on Instagram, like these HoloSuns. So definitely you want to follow us on Instagram. We throw up stuff like that you'll never see on YouTube. So please follow us over there. And everyone have a very Merry Christmas. Be safe, be with your family, and think about people less fortunate than you.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
See you, buddy.
Take care, everybody. Y'all have a great night.